Hello. First thing you may notice is that the background is a little different. It's a lot messier. That's because the room that I normally film in is freezing cold right now. And normally I would just tough it out, but I can't. I won't. I refuse. So I'm gonna film this in this room because it's warmer in here. So yeah. I made this video, well not this video, but I made a video with this content in it last night and realized it was terrible and killed it dead. So I'm making a new video featuring the content from the video that I murdered. So here goes. I watched season 3, episode 3 of The Walking Dead. And I have some good news for you. I have good things to say. Very excited about that. It was actually a really good episode. A little strange, albeit, but it was a really good episode. I thought far better than the last two. Something that was really really cool. First off, spoiler alert. That awkward silence is your chance to run away. If you're still here, it's too late. Merle's back. Which I guess is exciting because that'll add some more storyline for Daryl, who is my favorite character. But Merle's back, and he seems a lot different. Granted, we saw him only for a little bit at the beginning of this show to begin with, and then that little, vignette where Daryl was, drugged out of his mind and rolling around, and Merle was, trying to be the voice of reason into why he shouldn't give up. But he seems smaller. And I don't mean just smaller, weight-wise, because he does seem smaller that way, too, physical-wise. But, I guess I don't remember his voice being that high pitched, airy sounding, and he also seems to have calmed down a lot, or he's in love with the governor, and so he's being a good boy because he can just kill stuff, which could also be the case. The one thing I don't like about Merle being back is that arm thing he's got going on. T-Dog got cut pretty badly, and they had some kind of medical supplies and a bunch of people that could take care of him, and he almost died. Merle was left on a roof, and he even made the comment in the episode that, when the governor people found him, he was, half bled out and starved to death. So I can imagine that his existence after cutting his hand off was less than exemplary, and I'm just kind of wondering how he survived. I'm glad he did. Like I said, it's cool to see him back, but I'm just kind of, hey. But then I guess if we're suspending our disbelief to allow the fact that dead are walking again, we can allow Merle the chance to survive, and or he's just that much of a hard ass. Death came for him, and he slapped him and told him no. The governor, I was so stoked to see the governor because he was just a normal dude. He wasn't big, physically imposing. He wasn't super good looking, and he's just a normal looking guy, just a normal looking dude, which I thought was really cool because if the world went to hell and zombies started walking the earth again, normal dudes would survive, and they would probably, they'd start stuff. It's not going to be the super hot guy who can start a colony, or the super ripped guy or whatever. I just thought it was really cool that the governor looks like a normal guy, but he's obviously really twisted. Look back to the scene where they just murdered those soldiers, and then at the end where he has that wall of heads and 2 of them look like his daughter and wife, or so I lead you to believe. The wall of heads was underwhelming because I've seen more gruesome things throughout this show, so I actually wasn't so much wall of heads. I was like, what the heck? Who has a wall of heads? Who has time for a hobby like this when the world is crazy and apocalyptic? Jeez, talk about hoarding. No. And I also thought, the scientist guy that they had, how he suggested, that zombies, retain a part of, who they were when they were alive. It was really neat, and I really liked how he's, so Michonne. Well, he didn't call her that, but, he's so, you had these zombies that were following you around. Who were they to you? and she kind of clammed up like they were like somebody important to her life before everything went crazy. And then when Andrea asked her, and she's like, if they were someone to you, then they could have been that easy to just kill like that. And Michonne's like, oh, believe me, they were. So it makes you wonder, like, were they really people that she had known when they were alive? And if so, were they loved ones that she finally was like, oh, I'm ending their suffering? Or were they, like, people she known in her life that were real a-holes and she hated, so she's like, oh, I'm gonna make you carry my crap around like freaking pack zombie mule things, and then when the time comes, I'm cutting your head off after I've already cut your arms and jaws off. I don't know. That was pretty cool. What else? Waterbury? There's like 1,000 buries on the East Coast. So I was like, how apt. The East Coast was where, like, United States, like, originally, like, sprang up, the original 13 colonies, blah, blah, blah. And the fact that the, like, first legit colony of survivors and people is called Waterbury. That's just awesome. I think that was cool. So well played, Walking Dead. I see what you did there. You had 2 really crappy episodes because you wanted us to prove that we were tried and true fans. And then you're like, well, bam! Here's a episode that is reminiscent of the past 2 seasons. And this is why you watch the show. And it's like, thanks, Walking Dead. I feel like the dog that just got thrown the proverbial bone. Either way, you're stuck with me. I'm going to keep watching until you do something really stupid. But until then, I'm going to keep watching because you're just amazing. And I love you. So yeah, here's this week's review of The Walking Dead, and it's all happiness and sunshine and rainbows and unicorns vomiting. And if you have just stumbled upon this video, I have 2 prior that talk about The Walking Dead. I will have the links somewhere over in this area for a little while for you to click on. Yes. And if you find me entertaining, I have a channel with some other videos of other things. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, subscribe, like, comment, tell me how stupid I am, tell me that the fact that my hair matches my glasses is idiotic, whatever, say hi. I'll say hi back. I have nothing else to do, and I would love to talk to you. And also, if you, again, find me interesting, I'll have links down below to all my other things that I do with all the spare time that I have. So, I hope you enjoyed this past episode as much as I did. Bye!